Welcome back to another episode of the MN Talk Show, episode 14. Special guest all the way from Michigan.
That's the second guest that's came out just for this show.
She didn't really come
Not
out just
just
for this show. Kristal,
Hello,
welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Thank you
Appreciate
for
you
having
making
me.
time.
Yeah.
No problem.
So, give us a little background. Where you're from, kind of what you did. You were retired. You're kind of getting back into it again.
Yeah.
But let's start from the beginning. Where did it start?
Okay, well, I was born and raised in Standish, Michigan. It's a town of about 1,000 people in mid-Michigan, 2 hours north of Detroit.
Okay.
From what I gather, Minnesota people like to know in relation to Detroit.
Oh, yeah. That's probably the only place I know.
And I was raised on a 200-acre farm. We had to work hard. My mother had 4 children in 5 years.
Oh, boy.
And then she had one more like 12 years later when we were in high school.
Really?
Okay.
So
What number were you?
I was number 2.
Okay.
Ooh.
Top of the pack. I see.
Top of the pack, yeah. So we had cattle and pigs, chickens, now and then a goose and a duck, you know.
Okay. So it was an
Kinda
animal
like-
farm?
Yeah, and then we had cash crops. We had all kinds of soybeans and corn and, sugar beets. They rotate the crops out.
Yeah.
They have a science to it.
Right.
And then we would always have a good 5 acres of garden.
Okay.
So the kids normally would tend to the garden and sell our vegetables on the roadside stand and
Okay.
work hard doing all that. And my dad worked away from home in marine construction and dredging.
Okay.
So he would come home and plant in the spring, take off and go work, and come home on weekends whenever he needed something. Sometimes we would have to cultivate. So I drove tractor. It wasn't that big a deal. Everybody, all hands on deck.
What age did you start driving tractor?
Probably about 10.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Could you imagine
Yeah.
being 10 years old
Yeah.
and handling how much those things weigh? 45,000 pounds?
Oh, yeah, they're
50,000
They're
pounds?
huge.
Yeah.
We had a John Deere 4000. So
I'm gonna act
it's a
like I know what that is.
medium-sized tractor.
Medium.
Nothing, super duty, but it's still, you feel pretty powerful as a kid up on that and stuff. My mom had 3 girls and then a boy.
Okay.
So the boy was like golden. So once he got of age, then the girls got pushed to the side. And sometimes my mom would have to do it because it was like, oh, no, the girls, they don't need to do that, we're gonna
Right.
do this. But
Yeah.
everybody helped out. A lot of times we ended up canning and freezing the vegetables and all that kind of stuff. But there was cousins around and other family friends that would help out when my father was gone. So,
Did your whole family live in that area of Michigan?
yes,
Okay.
my mother came from 13 and my dad from 6.
Okay.
My grandmother had the farm right across the road about a half mile up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was like a commune.
Yeah.
What a story.
Everybody's around.
Whole family right there
Oh, yeah.
just for the farm.
All the aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff. And they all farmed. Everybody farmed.
Oh, cool.
So that's just the way it was.
Yeah.
We were in 4-H, heavily in 4-H and stuff. And my sister showed horses in 4-H and did a lot of equestrian in high school and that. So it's big farming. We were part of Farm Bureau, which is an organization that helps support the farmers and that and the families. So there was 2 or 3 families that had large number of kids, and we all were together in age.
Okay.
So we would all meet with the different families and do events.
Do you still farm?
No,
Okay.
No. That's so.
Retired.
my brother has the farm. My father's passed away, and he puts on a big garden, and then he rents it out to a neighbor that works the land. And
Okay.
so
Gotcha.
it's still a business. It's run like a business. And
Yeah.
I think where we learned a lot of our business sense from was being on the farm.
For sure.
We got-
And you ran a business of your own,
Yeah,
correct?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. For 30 years, I went to dental school, and I got my own business. I just kind of fell into it. I was going to be a partner with someone. Didn't work out. Partnerships are hard.
They are.
And so it kind of pushed me out to get my own. And I
Okay.
started, I had 2 operatories, and then I moved to 3 operatories, and it was only 700 square foot. It's a real small
Ooh,
office.
yeah.
And within 5 years, I grew out of that space. And I ended up buying a building and renovating it to have 5 operatories. So it was a good medium size, and we grew it. Our production was almost $1 million. So
Okay.
we did pretty well. And
I would say
I got
so.
tired of that, running the business. After COVID, I was burnt out. We went through the down in 2008, the markets, and that was really hard to get through that, and all the staffing and employees and human resources issues that are happening now. Things are changing, so I was kind of like, I can retire. I saved enough, so I'm gonna.
Absolutely.
How
So
old
we
were you when
sold-
you did decide to retire?
I was 58.
Good for you.
58. Mm-hmm.
I'd say
a
that's
good-
ahead
that's
of
a
the
good
curve
age.
from everybody else.
Yeah.
Good age.
My husband had worked for Ford for 35 years. He retired at 53.
Salesman.
Oh,
No, he was a truck driver.
Okay.
Semi-truck driver. He didn't go over the road. He stayed local. But,
stayed local.
But yeah,
Where'd you go to college at for dental school then?
I went to the University of Detroit.
Downtown.
Downtown.
Hometown.
Downtown. I had got accepted to Ohio State, a contingency on Kentucky, but they only accept residents, and I would have had to wait until like August, which is weeks before you start, to know if you got accepted or not. I didn't. So I'd rather know a for sure thing, so I can get housing and everything settled. And then I was accepted to Northwestern University in Chicago, but that dental school's now closed up. And who wants to be a Buckeye? So
Goddamn
If you
Buckeye.
got to stay at home, stay at home.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
U of M, they gave me an contingency on finishing my bachelor's because I went in without a bachelor's. I
Okay.
just had my prerequisites. I had 3 years of college. And so I thought, I'm not going to wait a year when I can get in now. I might as well go for it.
Yeah.
Sounded like you were a really
With
wanted
U of D.
person.
Yeah, yeah.
What was like the day-to-day for you at college?
Oh, it was grueling. It was grueling.
I hear dental school is fairly difficult, correct?
It is. It's for me, I was more of a hands-on person.
Okay.
So the laboratories and working on setting teeth and working on patient care came easy to me. I had worked in the dental field. I was a dental assistant 10 years before I graduated dental school. So it was about 6 years I had been a dental assistant. And so I was used to working in the mouth and with patients and explaining procedures. I knew the procedures. I knew the instruments. It was the science-based classes that you have to take the first year and a half. You're taking all of the science, chemistry and biochemistry and microbiology, pathology, physiology, anything that ology.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's overload. So that was tough for me. But
Did you
I got
use a
through
lot
it.
of it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I still do.
Okay.
Yeah, I still do. I still do. But yeah, you just have to learn it and then getting through gross anatomy and going through all that was a tough course. But then again, I could draw on the farm experience because we used to clean chickens, and when Dad would come home with a deer, and it'd be hanging there. It wasn't a big deal for me, so I don't get grossed out on that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, there was a lot that couldn't finish that gross anatomy. And the person, it was just a vehicle of learning for us. And you could not put that in your mind that there was more to that that was laying on the table.
Absolutely.
So what age did you start or like even get the thought? Like obviously you kind of touched on a little bit, like it just wasn't working out at a different business. You wanted to be your own owner. What age was that kind of all starting?
Let me see. My oldest was 2.5, so she's turning 30 this year. So it was about 20. It was 2 or 3 years after school.
Okay.
So I had been an associate for a year at the practice at a high-end area in Detroit, West Bloomfield, and I asked if I could be ownership, hopefully try to buy in partnership, and the owner said, no, I'm not looking into that. I'm not looking into that.
Selfish.
So I said, okay, so I started like saying, well, then I'm going to start looking other, but I figured I'd finish out, keep working, getting a paycheck. And it ended up that we decided to start a family. So I got pregnant right away. And the month later, he's like, well, I thought about maybe I'll go ahead and let you buy in minority first and then add a little bit more as you work. Well, I was already pregnant, so and my lawyer's like, you don't have to really tell him, until you finish the deal. And so then when I finished the deal, I let him know. I don't think he was very happy with that, so that it might have strained the relationship. And after a couple of years after that, then it was pretty well done. So I'm like, maybe it forced me. I probably would have not made the jump, but.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yep,
and
you're right.
yeah.
I totally agree with that. There were some things that were happening unethically at the office, and I thought, I don't want to be a part of this. So
Yeah, you got to be selfish and make your own decisions.
so I
at the end
found
of the day.
a retiring doctor with a small practice and just grew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, grew it. just said, it's not what you make, it's what you keep, and
Yeah.
just really was very efficient at the overhead and tried to hire the right people that had the right, ethical
Right
background.
mindset, yeah.
So what you're
Let's
telling
get
me is you
together.
just didn't go out, buy a building, find a general manager, day-to-day operations he ran, and you sat at home with your feet up watching TV?
No.
You're telling me that's not how it works?
No, you have to work hard, and you're there after hours as a business owner. Because with dentistry, with some of the other service-based industries, you're providing the care, and then after you're done, you still got to do all the stuff for the business.
Yeah.
You've got to know about the regulations, and you've got to do the payroll and the human resources, and you got to find out, what the next equipment that you need to do, and you do your marketing, your business promotions, and so
It's a in front of the curtain and behind the curtain job.
Wow.
yeah, it's a lot. You have to have tough skin to be a business owner.
Especially in the dentistry, which is mainly, when you kind of started, was male dominant, correct?
Yes, it was.
How-
it was. And
how
we
was
had
that?
AIDS was discovered then in '92. I graduated.
AIDS.
So that was like, everybody's scared, and you got to make sure you have your place impeccable and
Right.
got your gloves and your mask, because I started as a dental assistant without wearing gloves, without wearing masks.
Really?
Didn't
Didn't
have
have
to.
any of that.
Yeah.
No,
Weird.
you would do surgery, and you'd be right in there. You just wash up. And
How big of a change was that, having to go from like being able to use nothing to
Yeah.
like putting latex
it
gloves
was
and a mask?
quite a bit for me, because you lose your tactile sense, you lose your feeling, and then I started having trouble with dermatitis from the rubber latex, because
Okay.
when they first started, it was like rubber latex. I mean, it was like irritating, and it had powder in it that irritated.
Yep.
And so you'd use glove liners, and you would, just do what you could, and you put creams on and that. But they discovered, vinyl gloves were better, and you just kind of did some tweaking of it.
Yeah.
But
It was adjustable.
now
adapt.
we wear masks all the time.
No, it's just normal life. Yeah.
So when COVID came along, it was not a big deal for us. Bring it on.
You're like,
because
Yeah.
we're
already
used
doing
to this.
Yeah, whatever.
But, the chiropractor doesn't wear a mask. The eye doctor doesn't wear a mask. Your PCP
Yeah.
doesn't wear a mask. They
Yeah.
still don't.
It-
We went
it
back to
doesn't
no
make
mask.
sense.
I'm like, well, guys, put your mask on.
Yeah, right.
We do it.
Yeah.
And that's just
we've
your
got-
job.
Yeah, we've got all kind of spray in our face.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Yeah, it's weird.
yeah.
What's your worst kind of patient? Kids? Adults?
I do
Older
okay.
guys?
I do okay with kids. I do okay with older people. I sold the practice. I'm still a dentist, though. I'm just not a business owner. I ended up transitioning into a part-time position. So, and this office I'm working with does a lot of veterans, which is very rewarding.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love it. So you have a lot of these people, men and women, and young and old, that have a lot of disabilities because of the war, because what they saw. And so you're just trying to, restore them so they can eat, so they can function, so they can be pain-free. So you get a lot of rewards from the veterans.
I was going to say, how
Nice
rewarding
people.
does that feel, knowing
Nice
that like you
people.
can help these people like go back to eating normal food,
Oh, yeah.
or like enjoying life
Yeah.
like the simple way
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah, and I have several patients that were, had bombs go off by them, and I have one guy had cancer, half of his tongue is gone, and hardly any saliva, and he can't swallow really, and but we restored his teeth; they look good, and there's another guy, they always come in pain, they can barely walk. You help them get in the chair, you get them a pillow, you try to restore them and stuff, but they have to have teeth to eat.
yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
So I don't mean to stop you here, but can you say pillow one more time?
pillow.
Okay, I thought I heard pillow, and I just wanted to make sure. I mean, I don't know.
Those Michigans say it a
Those
little
Michigan-
weird over there.
It is. Yeah, it's so weird because each state has its own little like
Yeah.
accent.
Accent?
Yeah.
Michigan's is pillow.
Yep. We sleep on pillows.
Pillows over there. That's funny.
Another
Yeah.
one, my other daughter, my older daughter, she always says whiff instead of with.
Whiff. Not Elena?
Not Elena.
Not
I
Elena.
don't think Elena does it. But some of that is the Polish people. My grandma came right from Poland and Ukraine, and we were around a lot of that when the kids were little, and they were heavily involved with Polish dance. We went to
Right.
Poland several times. We traveled a lot.
That's fun.
And they pick up that accent, that English,
It's weird how
People
quick
that-
you can pick that stuff up. Like
Yeah.
when you go down to Alabama or whatever, and then you come back, I can hear different in your voice But then when you go down there, they can hear a difference in your voice, and it changes
Yeah.
super quick.
Yeah.
Alabama's going to be fun.
It is.
I'm waiting for it, Kristal.
I know.
I'm so excited.
We're just booking our place today.
yeah.
I think finally
Good.
to figure that out. You
Good.
guys have yours already booked.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we do. But what went into your thought in selling it? Were you just like, how does that work selling? Like, it's not selling a home where you just call a realtor,
No,
hey.
it's very emotional.
Like
It was,
what? Yeah, what went into
you
it?
really had to think about it, and I started about 4 years before. It was kind of after Elena graduated high school.
Okay.
She's my second daughter, and there was no more coming up the pipe. And I'm like, wow, we're free. We could go.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the COVID and everything, and I was like, oh, I just want to be done. I'm done. I've done enough. 30 years. I think that's substantial. And I was so networked in the community, but we had moved out of the community, and the kids were out of school, and so I just started looking. I got a consultant, and she helped me start taking applications and interviewing people.
Mm-hmm.
We did a weekend where we did 40 potential buyers.
Good.
Jeez.
And I mean, all day long on Saturday, I had 15 minutes with them, and it was like speed dating.
You're like, yep, no,
Yeah.
yep, no.
I know.
This pile, that pile.
Yeah,
Maybe.
That's what we did. And then a lot of it's hard because they're coming out of dental school now with $400,000 debt is average. And they started.
That's average?
That's average.
That is
That's
unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Probably, what, 6 years was it? 6?
It's 4 years for dental school,
Okay.
and then 4 years usually for a bachelor's. I did it in 3 years, but I had paid my bachelor's, so I only had to pay my debt for dental school. And their debt to income ratio wasn't there, and they tried to say there wasn't cash flow in the office, and I'm like, yeah, there is if you do your pullbacks, because I had a pass through for the building. If you know anything business wise, it might be overstepping, but so they couldn't see that the rent I was paying myself, because I was a building owner, could actually go into income, and then it would show a higher income.
Yeah.
But you want to have your overheads, in line for tax purposes. You want to try to, and it's all allowed. It's how you do it when you have LLCs, and
Yeah.
so you try to catch that. And some people didn't quite understand it. They weren't business orientated at
Yeah.
all, and they obviously didn't take any classes, and nobody had
Right.
read any articles about it. It's like, that's how I learned. You're a lifelong learner.
Yeah. You learn as you go. That's
You
kind of how it is.
You learn, and you talk to your advisors and consultants and that. So there was quite a few that when it came down to it, it's like they just couldn't afford it.
Okay.
They just couldn't afford it. I'm like, well, then thank you, next.
Yeah.
And
How long did it
Fine.
take you to find that person? Oops.
it took about 4 years.
Really?
I came to the term that I don't know what was going to happen, and I thought, well, I'll just keep plugging away at it and trying to figure out. I wasn't quite sure what else to do to try to get a buyer in. We did ads with the Dental Association, and we reached out to all the salespeople and that. And the whole time you're doing this, you're trying to keep it quiet.
Yep.
Because when you sell a business, you don't announce to everybody in the world that
Right.
you're going to be selling.
Was it easy to keep it quiet, or did you hear things from?
I guess it was for me. It did okay. I
Okay.
did okay. I kept trying to plant seeds like, oh, I can't be doing this forever
Right.
to my patients, because I felt bad with my patients that I was leaving. But I just knew that personally I needed to spend more time with family and move on to the next chapter.
Yeah.
So that was it. But so I found a gentleman that was 5 years out of school, and he was heavily financed, so he was able to, give me the price I wanted. And my price was based on appraisals and valuations from people in the industry. So I thought, well, okay. I mean, I heard good things about him. He was ethical. I'm like, okay, because you got to look at all that.
Right.
this
You're
is-
passing
this is
your clients
baby.
off to somebody
this
else,
is your
yeah.
baby,
Yeah.
And he's done well. So
Yeah.
that's
Do you
good.
still talk to him?
Every now and then, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Every now and then. But it was like there was a lot of different ways you could do it. I could have stayed on a couple days and had him be an associate, and then maybe
Right.
the next year he'd buy. I could have just hired an associate and kept ownership, but or just walk away. I'm like,
Yeah.
I think it's easier just to walk away.
Agree.
Yeah.
Could I ask how much you sold it for, or is that non-disclosed?
No, it's fine. I can just ballpark. It was like with the building and the practice, it was just under $1 million.
Okay.
Okay.
So then that helps you retire a little easier.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
absolutely.
probably a nice little paycheck to collect.
Yeah, it helps you. You know, and we had other investments, our IRAs, and we have our couple properties on the lake up north at Holton Lake, and so we diversify.
Yeah.
So
Good for you.
that's all.
Smart
That's
people make
impressive.
smart
Yeah,
decisions.
yeah.
That's impressive.
You diversify. I mean, I was kind of like the head of household. My husband retired, and he didn't have a lot of education when it come to business and that. He was seed money for me, I tell him.
Oh, poor guy.
He was seed money. He didn't mind. He was having a good life. He's kind of happy-go-lucky. You met him, Nate, there.
Oh, yeah.
Alabama. He's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
a fun guy. And so he's had it pretty good. I tell him, you've had it pretty good, because he ended up, when Elena, the second daughter, was born, he ended up being a stay-at-home mom, which was 2001, and that was just the
Not
new
a bad
term.
gig.
What a dream
Yeah,
job.
what a dream
Oh,
job.
man.
Oh,
How'd you two meet?
Oh, well, back to our Polish roots. I mean, we really followed the culture, and his grandmother was from Poland also.
okay.
His mother spoke Polish. My dad spoke Polish. Everybody was very into going to the dances and the Polish festivals at the churches and that. And so I went to a dance with my parents in Detroit, just kind of by Tiger Stadium on Michigan Avenue and Junction. It was Old Knights of Columbus Hall. They've now tore it down. It's not in the best area of Detroit. And I was buying a kielbasa sandwich at the food stand, and he saw me. He says, "I want to dance with you." I thought, well, yeah, you can get me, sure, no problem. You know, I'm with my parents over there. I kind of disregarded them and stuff. And he was all tanned up because he had just come off of a cruise.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so he's looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll play.
Oh, I love it. That's a true love story
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
I want to dance with you.
Yeah.
Out of all the people here, you're the one that
I couldn't imagine walking up to a girl this day and age and be like, I want to dance with you at a bar. I feel
Probably
like I just
slap
get
you.
slapped.
Yep.
Yeah, just
Probably
get
get
slapped.
slapped.
Probably.
But that was normal.
Yeah,
That used to be normal.
Yeah.
He's younger than you, isn't he?
No, he's older.
Older.
He's older. Yeah.
old
How
is
much
he?
older?
He's 17 years older than I am.
Woof.
Yeah.
Big
How-
difference.
Big difference.
How
he
did
graduated high
that
school
work?
the year I was born. So,
Wow.
Yeah, so it was. It's been up and down, but for the most part, it doesn't really play a role.
yeah.
And it's starting to now because he'll be 77 in July. I'll be 60 in August.
Okay.
So he doesn't want to go as much as I do because I'm just ready to go.
Yeah.
But he'll tag along to some part, but he gets tired sometimes. We make sure he gets his nap.
It's like raising a toddler.
Yeah, nap
You
time.
go backwards,
Terrible twos, terrible 80s. It's kind of one of the same.
Yeah, I know. The year that Elena was born, that was 23 years ago, he had open heart surgery.
Okay.
So, and it was like emergency surgery, where, not sure how he's going to do and stuff. And he's done fine the whole time. So, so we're just kind of like thankful that
It's good.
that he got to the right place because he didn't have a heart attack. He probably wouldn't have survived one, they said.
Right.
So, so our whole life's kind of we know that every day could be your last.
Right.
So you just got to kind of take the good with the bad and go for it. And it doesn't stop me. He's always let me do whatever I want. Like, I'm going to Lena's for a week. Oh, okay.
All right.
See ya. Have fun.
See ya.
Yeah.
Did you know the age gap when he's like, I
No.
want to dance with you?
No.
When did you find out?
No. About 2 months later.
Really?
Yeah.
What went through your mind at that point? You're like,
I think it bothered him more than it bothered me.
okay.
Because I had already kind of had my direction. I'm going to go to dental school. That's what I'm going to do. I mean, all the guys I had met before were immature. I liked an older guy anyway. So I thought, oh, well, that's not that big a deal. He thought I was older than I was. I thought he was younger. And he still runs circles around people his age. So
Yeah.
He
Right.
doesn't have that. And so I was like, well, he did stand me up. After about a month talking, he stood me up because it was his friend's 40th birthday party. Wow. And he didn't want to bring me because I was too young.
Yeah. Oh, my
He was gonna be
Lord.
embarrassed.
Oh.
So I thought, well, all right, that's it, whatever. I
Yeah.
tried to call, and he didn't call back, didn't return any calls. I thought we were going out tonight. I thought, I'm ready. And where are you at? Is everything okay?
Nothing.
And nothing.
Wow.
So, crickets. So another month went by, and my Polish grandma had passed away, so I was kind of distraught. I was going up back home a lot then, and because I was living in Detroit with my cousins at that time, and it ended up that we met up with each other at an up church festival, Polish dance thing. And then from that point on, we were inseparable. That was it.
What a story.
That is unreal.
He's like, wow. He says, I can't let that one go.
Can't let that one slip through again.
Right.
What did your parents think when you told them about the year?
Yeah, I don't remember like actually saying anything, but they kind of knew,
That he was a little older.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad got along with him great.
Yeah. Well, they were about the same age.
Yeah, exactly. I think my sister was probably the most reserved and most cautious about it all. But I'm like, well, I'm just having fun.
He's cute.
Yeah, cute, having fun. And he was like really courting me. And we went on cruises. We went out
Sugar
to
daddy.
dinner all the time. Oh,
Yeah. She knew what she was doing. She's like, you got to fund my dental practice.
Someone's got to pay.
Yeah, right. That's funny.
There's a lot of that going on. But it was fun, and it's been fun, and hopefully it'll continue to be fun.
Yeah, life's crazy.
Yeah.
I know Alabama's fun with him.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
So we'll dive into Elena here because I know she's gonna watch this one.
I know.
What went through your mind when she picked up and left Michigan, left you? I know she didn't leave you, but she left home to Minnesota.
She did.
For some
guy named Nate.
And a hockey player.
And a hockey player at that. What in the world? I can't believe you just didn't keep her at home.
Lock her up, throw her in the basement.
You know Elena, and you don't tell Elena what to do because she knows what she's going to do, and she'll tell you what she's going to do. So, we had got to meet Nate when he was playing, at Victory Honda. So I knew he was a pretty good guy and stuff. And I thought, wow, this one's going to be hard to say no to. I could tell that.
Yeah.
She had dated a couple others in high school, and nothing was working out, and they weren't very good stand-up guys. Here Nate's opening doors for her and taking her out to dinner, and I'm like, oh, he's doing what John did to me. And then she pretty much just unraveled it slowly, like, well, I'm going to end up in Minnesota. I'm going to go there, and then all of a sudden Nate got a house, and like, okay, then she's helping him set the house up, and she's still finishing college. And he was adamant about her finishing college, and I said, well, that's good because we were going to butt heads if you weren't. But I just kind of knew, and then I came here a couple times, visiting and that, and it's just so nice here. I mean, I'll move here.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Here, let me get my business card for you.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just a nice area, and it's similar to Michigan, to Upper Michigan, with the farmlands and that, and just the people are nice, and a lot of opportunities too. I can see a lot of opportunities here for young people. Yeah. So I thought, well, that's what she wants, and they're making a life there, and it's a good thing, and it's only an hour and a half flight direct from Detroit.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's not bad.
If it was not that, maybe I'd have more trouble.
Yeah, exactly, right.
And I can also drive through the UP on it. So
if that's what you want to
it's
do,
a beautiful
go for
drive.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. No, my family kind of spread their wings. They left that small town. My brother's in Alabama dredging. My other sister went to Washington, D.C. and worked. Made her family there. I have a sister in Australia, and she has been there 7 years now. And then I have another sister that was in Bay City in Michigan.
Okay.
So you guys are all
Michigan.
kind of spread out.
We
now.
are.
Yeah.
From the 5 of us, there's only 2 that stayed in Michigan.
Still connected, though? Do you guys still chat every once in a
Yeah.
while?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Every Sunday we have a Zoom call.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, every Sunday we have a Zoom call. So that started when my mother got stuck in Australia during COVID.
Oh,
She
no.
went February 15th, And she was supposed to come home March 17th or March 20th or something. And we're like, don't put her on the plane.
Yeah.
No way. She have to fly through California, and that was in the heart of it all.
No.
And she's in almost 80.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Mm-mm. So she stayed in Australia, and she didn't come home till the end of July then.
Ooh.
So she was there for 6 months. She had to get a doctor exam and renew her visa while she was there and everything in order to stay in the country. And we didn't even want her on one of those Patriot flights that they were doing. I says, no, don't put her on one of those either. So we kept Mom there, and then we started our Zoom calls. So it was kind of fun. For a while, we had all the Mom's grandkids, so our kids would on. Elena, Katrina, they would all come on, and the grandkids are in Virginia, Alabama. One was in Chicago at one time. So we were kind of all over.
Right.
And so we would have a whole screen of people. It would look like the United Nations,
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
There's like 4 of us that still stay on. And do
That's
it,
fun.
which is fun.
Good.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
absolutely. Well, last question for you.
Okay.
We ask everybody this. Best advice you would give to somebody that's either going to dental school now or is wanting to start up their own dental practice.
Okay.
What do you think helped you the most that you would want to pass on to them?
I think the thing that helped me most was getting connected and lining up your advisors. I had an excellent CPA. I still have him. Been 25, 30 years with him. And my lawyer, I got my investment lady, so she's taking care of the money. And I just think if you educate yourself and get connected through networking, a lot of stuff with the Chamber of Commerce, other business owners in our community, just kind of network with key people, key advisors, and then your dental, like if you're specifically the dental industry, you had to know a dental salesman to kind of find out what you have to have for your x-ray certification, for your equipment, and how to get staffing and employees and that. So line up your advisors, get on. Now you have a plethora of information through the internet. Oh my God, we didn't have any of that. Right. I mean, we didn't even have cell phones,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But back then you didn't, so you had to be with the right people.
Right, yeah. We were networked. I did a lot with Chamber of Commerce and with other business owners, Business Network International, which is BNI. You would meet in the morning at the local diner, for an hour and a half or so. And you would trade stories, and then there's this, there's that. I didn't hear about that.
Bounce ideas off each other.
Did you hear about this new law that's being passed? Oh, okay. And even in COVID, it's still, because things were down and stuff, I found out about a lot of grants that were given away. Our county was giving away grant money for minority business owners. Well, guess what? I'm a minority. So,
Yeah.
so I got money to help survive and get through that, because we did lose production money. We couldn't have any patients.
Yeah.
Our governor shut down our businesses for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
We could not open. And so, you learn about a lot of that stuff through networking. You have to read and be on all the Facebook pages and do the Instagrams and Snaps and Twitter and TikTok and whatever.
All the social media.
All
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that answer. I
That's
think a lot of
crazy.
people kind of overlook that.
Yeah, they do. You have to do it yourself. Nobody's gonna do it for you.
Right.
No, you gotta pull yourself up from the bootstraps and go for it.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you were a successful business owner.
Well, thank you.
Just like that.
Agreed.
Well, you've heard it here first from Kristal. So,
Crystal, thank you for taking
Yes.
time. We
Thank you.
appreciate you.
You're
This
all
is
the
a
way
great
from
show.
Michigan.
Oh yeah, go blue.
Hope you have.
No.
Go Blue.
Yeah, it's Go Blue.
Right? We
Yeah.
didn't even talk about that. Part 2.
I was.
Did you
gonna-
watch?
Oh God, yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was sweating.
I was screaming.
Good game. It was a good game.
I was a little upset when they went into overtime against Bama. I'm like, come on.
Bama, I had more of an issue watching because my brother's from Alabama, my sister-in-law's there, and they live and breathe the Bama Roll Tide.
Elena
Roll
was,
Tide.
Elena was going to go to
Elena-
Bama. Yeah.
Elena was accepted at Alabama, and it was that was hard to watch. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
It's like I have to root for the home team because we do
Right.
go to the games, and we're only like
Oh, yeah.
20 minutes from the stadium, so we're all about the U of M.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Go Blue, baby.
Go
Love
blue,
that.
Go
baby.
Blue.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know.
Well, thank you,
Good.
Kristal.
All right,
We
thank you.
appreciate it.